This is my second effort at the train layout. First one I had was very extensive. I had something like 100 metres of rail, and I had about 9 trains actually in operation. I tried to operate them one day. I got up to 6 running continuously, and then it was just disaster with a big D. And now this time I'm running up to 4 trains on 2 different lots of tracks, and this track is a lot flatter than the other one I had. The other one I had up and down radiuses. I was told that I couldn't exceed a certain percentage of radius, but the distance I had to do it in meant that I went up to something like nearly 3 degrees slope, and I found a lot of the locos I had wheel slip when they were trying to go up the slope, and then the following train not being on the same climb, well, I'd have a rear end collision, and the kids that were watching used to think it was tremendous when I had one train suddenly get derailed from the other one smashing into the back end of it. This one here is quite different, as you can see, and I'm in the throes of wanting to get my scenery sorted out, and I've got to watch what I'm doing here, otherwise I'll get trouble with the trains catching up with one another again. None of the locos will run at the same speed on the same setting. It's because of the mechanical component in them. The range of speeds is 0 to 28, and I'm running these at the moment at 8 and 7. Sometimes 4 times round the track will allow one train to catch up with the other one, so I've got to be continually looking at them to make sure that they're not going to have a rear end collision. Yeah.
Why did you move?
Mainly because I wanted to sell the house. It was too big after my wife died, and I was looking for a smaller premises. The other railway line, if you ever get the opportunity to see it on Paul's videos, was outside, where this one is inside, and I find it's a lot better weather-wise. The other one was very prone to getting moisture in on the rails, and I was having to continually clean rails. This one, I haven't cleaned these rails since I've started the stuff running on them. Paul's just saying that there's a button on the end of this video which allows you to go to the other track system, and it's rather interesting. It had a big spiral on it, and got a couple of good shots of the trains climbing up the spiral. Again, it was subject to weather because it was outside, and sometimes it'd go up the spiral, and other times it was all wheel slip. I've got a lot of my locos set up with sound, but unfortunately when I've got 4 or 5 locos running simultaneously, to have them all making sound is such a cacophony, you can't hear anything. You'll hear this, that's about as loud as I've got control of the volume that they're at, and also they've got a bell in them which you cannot hear. Here's the loco just coming up towards me now. Whereas the whistle is much louder. And as I was saying, if you've got them all blowing it simultaneously as they're going around, the cacophony of sound is such that it's just lost to everything. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed all this. It's a lot of fun putting it together. A bit hectic when you've got 2 trains running on the same track. As I said before, it's impossible to get both locos running at the same speed. So I've got to sit here and keep my eyeball on them. And it's surprising how quickly they'll catch up with one another, and sometimes they do hook up together, and then you've got the problem of sorting them out again. Quite often the carriages derail. Oh goodness me. And yeah, it's all fun of the act though. One train, one track of course is a good guarantee that I can have problems.